Thanks for inviting us in. It's now 6 o'clock and we begin tonight here in Indianapolis where investigators believe an off-duty Lawrence police officer shot and killed a man in self-defense last Friday.
That officer was also injured by gunfire and is a former high-ranking officer within Indianapolis Metro Police. Rich Knight here live in studio with us tonight after earlier today he talked to a woman who was also involved in the shooting incident. Pretty scary, Rich.
Yeah, and that woman does not want to talk about that incident publicly anymore. But she told me today that she believes Lieutenant Bill Benjamin saved her life Friday night.
You can see a bullet hole in the siding on the porch near the door frame of this house. I saw another bullet hole in the door frame. This is where Lawrence Police Lieutenant Bill Benjamin and 53-year-old Lamont Johnson exchanged gunfire Friday night just after 10. You might recognize Benjamin as a former Metro Police Deputy Chief. Benjamin rose through the ranks of the Sheriff's Department, then IMPD, before retiring in 2012. Farther back, Benjamin played a couple games for the Colts as a replacement player during the 1987 NFL strike. Police believe Benjamin was with a woman at this East Side home when Johnson, her ex-boyfriend, showed up and began knocking on the door. A confrontation apparently escalated into shots fired by both men. Johnson was killed. Benjamin suffered a leg injury. We captured video of Benjamin arriving by ambulance with police escort to Methodist Hospital Friday night. Benjamin remains hospitalized. The woman who lives here told me Benjamin is just a friend. She says Johnson confined them in the home at gunpoint. She believes Benjamin saved her life. IMPD is handling the criminal investigation. Metro Police say a special investigations unit takes over anytime an officer from any agency is involved. Lawrence Police are conducting an administrative internal investigation. This is standard practice whenever an officer fires their weapon. The Professional Standards Division will determine whether Benjamin violated department policies, rules, or procedures. Again, Benjamin retired from IMPD in 2012. He currently works in the Investigations Division for Lawrence Police.
Lawrence Mayor Deb Whitfield just released a statement an hour ago recognizing the community has questions, but she says the investigative process needs to unfold before commenting further on this shooting. And the police report lists the shooting as justifiable homicide, preliminarily believed to be self-defense. The prosecutor will review the investigation for any charging decision.
A teen is now taking a plea deal in a murder that occurred in Henry County. This guy was just 13 years old when that shooting took place. Quentin Van is also now charged as an adult. He shot and killed Ernie Thornsberry Jr., that crime in 2023. Police say the shooting was random and Thornsberry was walking home from a friend's house. Van pleaded guilty to voluntary manslaughter, a murder charge now dismissed as part of that deal, which calls for a 30-year prison sentence. That sentencing is now on the books for later this month. And in Bloomington tonight, 7 IU Bloomington fraternity brothers are facing felony charges accused of hazing.
An alleged initiation ritual last fall sent 2 pledges to the hospital. Tonight, our Ashton Hackman walks us through those allegations.
The 7 frat brothers charged are accused of forcing pledges to endure exhaustive exercises, hours of push-ups, planks, and wall sits. Riley Agbanese was one of those hospitalized.
My legs ended up they were really inflated. They hurt a lot, and my urine was a dark color, kind of like a color of tea.
In a statement, IU said the allegations made in the charges are inconsistent with IU's values and expectations of student conduct. The fraternity's national chapter also responded, saying the allegations do not align with the purpose or values of the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity. Agbanese has since transferred schools and says he wants others to learn from what happened.
Look out for yourself. If you know something's not right, or if it's affecting you, you don't stay quiet.
Phi Kappa Psi remains on cease and desist as students prepare to come back to campus. In the meantime, all 7 fraternity brothers are expected to be in court for the first time in September. In Bloomington, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
Severe storms over the weekend produced a lot of flooding, and now we know one tornado, southern sections of Marion County. This was just south of downtown. EF0 damage found by the National Weather Service, estimated winds at 76 miles per hour. You can see the path of this tornado, and it lifted just near the Crystal House South Academy. Again, some damage reported in a few of these locations. Much quieter day today. We take you south into Bloomington, where we have temperature of 82 degrees. It's 83 in Indianapolis, 82 Lafayette, and 79 degrees in Frankfort under mainly sunny skies. We'll stick with mainly sunny skies for the next several hours. Everyone will drop through the 70s by 11 o'clock, and then overnight temperatures between 55 and 60. Mostly sunny at the bus stop. Morning temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s. Recess tomorrow, upper 70s, and we're expecting highs in the low 80s. That gets you back to school. If you're headed to Colts camp, more of the same. Sunshine and temperatures in the 60s and 70s for Colt City.
Thanks, Angela. All right, if you happen to live in Beech Grove on the southeast side, Indianapolis, or the leaders that are there in Beech Grove, are now asking you to pay more money because they need money to pay for road repairs.
This is part of their proposed wheel tax increase. Councilors are set to vote on it later tonight. Our Alex Almanza tells us tonight about the possible increase in Beech Grove.
Beech Grove is asking for a raise. Passenger vehicles like this car would cost $25 at the BMV. Anything larger like this truck, that'll cost Beech Grove business owners $40 per unit. Tonight at 7, the Common Council will be voting whether to increase the wheel tax. They want more money to help pay for road improvements. Voting yes could also preserve access to state matching grants. City leaders say the city got $400,000 from the state last year. That cash helped the city double their paving work. But Beech Grove Mayor James Kaufman says to stay eligible, they have to adopt their own tax revenue.
There was a lot of concern about property taxes, and I think that is true. We need some property tax relief, and that's something that we should be focused on. It's a tough decision to want to implement any tax, but we're doing as the state legislator has suggested we do, continue to provide the services that we do.
If the Common Council doesn't adopt this increase, they could be left paying the $100 wheel tax that's being proposed in Indianapolis. I'm Alex Almanza for 13 News.
Now, drivers in other portions of Marion County could also see their vehicle taxes increase. City County councilors say they plan to vote to override a veto by Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett. Councilors passed a proposal to raise the wheel tax and the vehicle excise surtax. The mayor announced a plan last month to help our city match the money needed to secure funding from the state without raising taxes. Councilors plan to hold a vote to override the veto a week from today.
Just in the newsroom now, 13 News has now confirmed that Andy Zay is fired from his position with the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission. At this hour, we're working to learn why. Now, let's get you up to speed. Indiana Governor Mike Braun appointed Zay as chairman of the commission. That was in January. He was replaced then in June after he approved a controversial AES rate hike. The IURC oversees the state's biggest utility companies.
GOP State Senator Chris Garton is announcing his run for Senate President Pro Tem. Current Senate Pro Tem Rod Bray announced he is not running for re-election to that position last week. Garton resigned as the majority floor leader back in June after the push to redraw congressional districts failed in the Indiana State House. He was one of 19 senators to vote in favor of redistricting. He shared a statement saying, in part, our caucus stands at a defining moment, and the challenges ahead demand bold, focused leadership.